What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching today, baby. All right, guys, I hope you guys all had a great weekend. My Seahawks won the Chargers today, so things are great on my end. And I'm just stoked about that. I could not believe that happened. Anyways, so I just wanted to make a little bit of a video talking about, like, for some people that might be considering Suboxone and some people might be considering Sublocade. So there are major differences, even though they're basically made up of the same chemical, because the half-life is so different. It's almost a totally different experience, as you guys have heard me say in the past. And sorry, a lot of the things I say, guys, are repetitive, but you guys have to remember that not everybody has been watching all my videos for the last 4 years. So also, there's many times when it's needed that I repeat myself with things. So you guys are sick of watching me, sick of hearing me say the same things over and over, or spinning them different ways. My apologies, but this type of video content is often repetitive. So that being said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not your doctor. This is not medical advice. Nothing on my channel is medical advice. If you have addiction issues, please seek out your own addiction doctor. All right, guys, that being said, I want to welcome all the new subscribers to the channel. Thank you guys for joining. All right, so I want to start this off. I'm not trying to like divide the Suboxone people and the Sublocade people. I believe this all should go together as like a package deal kind of thing. Suboxone obviously saved my life. You guys have heard me say this. Suboxone saves lives. This is not even something that you can argue anymore at this point. There's many people on this channel that will say the same thing openly. In my opinion, Suboxone was vital for my early recovery. And what I mean by that is when I tried to, when I was in my active pain pill addiction, I tried many times to just stop taking painkillers myself, and it never worked. It was too big of a reality change to go from painkiller addiction to no painkiller addiction. It was too big of a step down, like too big of a jump down, right? Too aggressive of a jump down in my recovery. And some people can do it. Some people can jump from insane doses. Everybody's going to be different. That's another thing I want you guys to remember, that we're all different. Almost everybody finds their way to recovery on a different path or using a different medication. Everybody's is going to look different, guys. So keep that in mind with everything I say on this channel. I'm just sharing my experience and my views on this stuff, since I do have quite a bit of experience with this. So I personally feel like if I could do it all over again, I would get on Suboxone, because I could not make the jump without anything. It was too much. It was too big of an adjustment, life adjustment for me. So I believe Suboxone, I should have used it for maybe 6 to 12 months. And I would say if I had a clean time of 6 to 12 months, and I'm not meaning I used Suboxone in between, when I was trying to get illegal stuff, and then Suboxone would save me from withdrawal. I'm not talking about doing that. I'm talking about getting on Suboxone, staying on Suboxone, and staying clean from the other stuff, the heavier stuff that you were taking before that. So you have a good 6 to 12 months clean time. You've gotten what's a good way to refer this to? Like when you're new in relationships, right? There's the honeymoon stage. So a lot of people have something kind of like a honeymoon stage with Suboxone. Like I feel like it's more the people that are newer to the medication. They're getting out of that crappy lifestyle and breaking the law every day to get their drug of choice. They're not paying insane amounts of money. They can get their Suboxone legally at the doctor, prescribed, probably free with insurance. It's just such a life upgrade to be out of that shady, dirty, risky lifestyle. So, and that usually lasts, it seems like it's like 6 to 12 months. Like things are going great. You're starting to rebuild your life, and then it seems like it's somewhere around maybe like a year mark, maybe 2 year mark. You start to kind of like you're not really in love with Suboxone like you were at first. You start to have side effects start compiling. It doesn't really work as good as it used to work. Whatever it is, something like that, right? And then you start to have negative thoughts about Suboxone, and you start to think, well, I don't want to be on this forever, okay? And so that's kind of where I feel like it's somewhere around 6 to 12 months for most people. And again, I want to say too, if you are on whatever dose of Suboxone and life is great for you, who cares? Just stay on it if you don't feel like you need to get off of it. I'm talking to the people who their soul is screaming at them, hey, you need to get off this medication. You don't need this anymore. This is basically who I'm talking to right now. People like me that don't want to have to take something every day. If that doesn't bug you, then who cares? Stay on it. It keep you safe. Stay on it as long as you need to. You know, I always tell people, just because I'm trying to get off of this medication doesn't mean that everybody else watching this needs to. I've just been in this lifestyle for so long. It's been 20 years of my life. I've pretty much been addicted to something like this. So it's just, I'm ready to turn the chapter for the next half of my life. Hopefully I can live another 40 years. Addiction free would be great. So, wow, I can ramble about this stuff forever. Already 6 minutes. All right. So, I just got to say, too, that being on Suboxone reminds me of that movie with Justin Timberlake. It's called In Time. Have you guys watched that movie? It's like, I always felt that way on Suboxone. Like, oh, okay, I got my dose. Now I got to set the timer. I know, you know, this will get me till tonight, or this will get me till tomorrow morning. I always felt like that. And that sucks to feel like you have to keep putting quarters in the time slot or else you're going to run out of time. Because that's exactly how I felt on Suboxone. You know you're going to go into withdrawal in X amount of hours. So you have to keep that withdrawal at bay by putting more stuff. And it just sucks to live that way, guys. It's not natural to live like that. And after living that way for so long, you can start to feel like life should just be like that. And it's not supposed to be like that. We're not supposed to be tied to a medication, in my opinion. Again, this is all my opinion, guys. It's just unnatural to live that way. You have to worry about it if you go on vacation. You have to worry about hiding it from your friends or family. It's just not fun. So if you guys have watched that movie, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. Like when they run out of time on the wrist, they die. I always felt like, well, as soon as my time's up for Suboxone, you know withdrawal's coming and I got impending doom on the way. All right, so let's start off with, I just came up with kind of a basic list. I am gonna do a more in-depth list later on, and I'm gonna make a really long video about the pros and cons of Suboxone and the pros and cons of Sublocade all in one video. But for simplicity of things right now where we're at, I'm gonna do 5 reasons why someone might consider Suboxone to be better than Sublocade. I guess that's how I could word it. That's how I'm gonna word it. Okay, and we're gonna start with number 1. This should be pretty obvious to guess. Suboxone is dirt cheap. Dirt freaking cheap. You guys can get, even if you don't have insurance, you can download the GoodRx app free of charge. It doesn't cost you anything. There's no membership. It's totally free. It gives you a discount on all your prescriptions. I checked on there last night, and I think you could get Suboxone for like $1.50 to $2 a tablet for 8 milligrams. Obviously the generic. That is so cheap, you guys. $2 for an 8 milligram tablet. That's peanuts. I mean, we're talking peanuts here, ladies and gentlemen. So that's probably one of the best things about Suboxone is it's so dang cheap. You compare this to Sublocade. Sublocade, if you don't have insurance, is like $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 for a 1 shot, for a 1 month injection. So when you compare the two, if you don't have insurance involved, then clearly Suboxone is much, much cheaper. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is there are many doses. You have 2 milligrams, 4 milligrams, 6 milligrams, 8 milligrams, and I think there might be a 12 milligram. I could be wrong, and I probably am wrong on that, but there's at least 2, 4, 6, and 8 milligrams. And you can cut them, like most people cut them when they're tapering. Like you can modify the dose yourself at home, right? With Sublocade, there's only 2 basic doses, and it's injectable. So you can't really adjust them unless you're squirting it out like my doctor may or may not have done. So Sublocade needs to come out with more doses, and I know that they are working on like a generic of Sublocade. It'll probably be out in a few years, and they're going to have more doses as well. I believe it's called CAM 2038. You guys are welcome to Google that and look into that if you'd like to. So if you guys are wanting Sublocade, but you don't have insurance, you don't want to pay for it, I would say probably the next few years you're going to have cheaper options coming online soon, guys. So be patient, unfortunately, but relief is coming if that's what you like. So yeah, there's many doses, and to go along with that same point, I feel like there are many uses. Like you can see people getting off of kratom with the help of Suboxone. You see people getting off of injectable stuff with the help of Suboxone. People like me who got off of painkiller addiction with the help of Suboxone. Some people use Suboxone to get off of alcohol. I know that's something Matt used to talk about, is he never drank when he was on, because he didn't think you could drink. And I think it says on the medication you're not supposed to. So you're probably not supposed to, because they're both, alcohol and Suboxone are both downers, right? I think that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, like there's many doses. You can switch up the dose easily. You can come up with whatever dose you need. You can take it once, you can take it 4 times a day, like whatever you need to do, you can customize it all yourself. So it's not that easy, obviously, with Sublocade, of course, and you can't adjust the dose. Once it's in you, it's in you. So that's number 2, guys. Number 3 is it's much easier to get than Sublocade. I'm hearing from a lot of you in the comments section that you're saying you can't find a Sublocade doctor, or a lot of you have tapered down to lower doses of Suboxone, and you're not able to find a doctor like mine who's willing to adjust your Sublocade dose to kind of match your lower Suboxone dose. Okay, so that's a pretty big thing. I'm thinking that's a pretty big upgrade of Suboxone over Sublocade, is because it's so much easier to get. You can call, I think Nicole's always talking about telehealth. Like you can just call a doctor on the phone now without even going into their doctor office, your local doctor office, and they can get you a prescription over the phone. That's incredible. That is incredible. So it's much easier to get Suboxone. I mean, it's much more widely, it's just been around for so long, right? And I think that has a lot to do with why it's so much easier to get. So many doctors are familiar with Suboxone. They're not afraid to prescribe it most of the time. So that's a pretty big thing. And also you can do the telehealth. If you don't want to go into the doctor's office, you can just do it right on your phone with a Zoom FaceTime or something like that. So that's a pretty big one, guys. I'm seeing a lot of people out there in like the country that their doctors never even heard of Sublocade, or they've never even injected it or anything like that. Like there's kind of a few issues out there like that. But again, be patient. In the future years, I'm very confident that Sublocade is going to be like the new Suboxone. More doctors are going to start using it. They're going to have different doses, as I mentioned earlier. So okay, I don't want to talk too much about Sublocade, even though this video is kind of against Sublocade in a way. Side note, I have the same video of this, but talking 5 reasons why Sublocade is better than Suboxone. That video will be coming tomorrow or the next day. So it'll be after you're seeing this video. Okay, so number 4 is you can taper or jump. Like if you are just sick and tired of being sick and tired, you can just throw your hands up in the air, throw your Suboxone in the fire and burn it all up, and you can suffer the withdrawal however long it may be. Some people it's short, some people it's longer. Everyone's experience is different. Or you can do a rush taper. A lot of people aren't successful with that, but some people have done it and some people have succeeded. Cindy jumped off of 24 milligrams cold turkey. So people can do this, guys. It's just, I'm a wimp with that stuff, obviously, as I know a lot of you guys are too, as I've heard from you guys in the comments section. So a lot of people are wimpy with Suboxone tapering, especially when it comes to rush taper. And cold turkey jumping, it's not very realistic, but there is, if I had to put a guess, I would say maybe 10% people can do a cold turkey jump from Suboxone. You got to be pretty strong-willed minded to do that. So if you can do that, you'll save yourself a year or two of tapering, or in my case, 4 years of doing this crap up and down, because that's what my life's been like. You guys have seen it firsthand. So you can taper a jump at any time, right? You can't do that with Sublocade. It's known that once you get the Sublocade shot, it's going to take you some time to let that shot wear out through your system. Some people have reported still testing positive for buprenorphine 12 months after the shot. You know, there's a lot of things that go into it, like how many shots they've gotten total, how big of shots they got total, how slow their metabolism is, do they work out, do they eat good? Like there's a lot of things that are going to come into play, obviously, with somebody's metabolism. But yeah, once you get the shot, it's not like you can just be like, hey, I want off now. It doesn't work like that. Once it's in you, and you're just waiting for time to pass at that point. You can't just say, I want to get off Suboxone right now. It doesn't work that way, guys. So that's number 4. All right. And then the last one, number 5, is you control it. I mean, obviously your doctor is going to control it to some extent, but I'd be lying if I said that I always took exactly what dose I told my doctor I was taking, you know. And I know there's a lot of you guys that are afraid to run out of your medication. So a lot of people are going to say they're taking a lot more than they already are, than they really are, so they can start to build like a stash, right? Because it's scary to run out of your medication, especially people in Suboxone world. It's scary to run out of your Suboxone. So what I was meaning to say is that a lot of people, they'll like save up their medication because they're afraid to run out. They're afraid of the world ending or whatever it is that could happen, doomsday. So yeah, you control it. And what I mean by that is some people, it seems like everybody gets something different, but it seems like the majority of people, they get energy from Suboxone, and that you could probably credit that to the partial opiate that's in Suboxone, because a lot of people get energy from opiates, right? For me, it was like anxiety relief. Suboxone mostly always felt like Xanax to me. It just felt like it always calmed me down. You know, I would like to turn on a movie and cuddle up and relax and take my Suboxone and just chill out. I didn't ever get like energized from it, like a lot of people say that they get. Some people get euphoria. Again, that goes back to the partial opiate in Suboxone. So I was really thinking deeply about those 3 things that I mentioned. A lot of people say they get energy, and I was thinking, you know what? I bet it really is. Tell me what you guys think of this. I mostly think that it's just withdrawal relief, because think about it, guys. When you're in withdrawal, which is what you start to go into, like in the morning time, right? When you haven't taken Suboxone for 12, 14 hours, a lot of people start to go into withdrawal in the morning. What does that look like? Low energy, right? So when you wake up, you have no energy. You're just waking up, you're groggy feeling. So you take your Suboxone to get the energy, right? But it really is probably just you getting out of withdrawal. Because when you're in withdrawals, you don't have energy. So when you're not in withdrawals, you just have energy, right? Same thing with anxiety. When you go into withdrawal, what do you get? You get anxious. That's what I get, right? And so you take your Suboxone in the morning after you haven't taken any all night. You're starting to go into withdrawals more than likely. So what do you get? Anxiety relief. Because why? Because the withdrawal goes away. That's just a different way to think about it, guys. Because if some of you are tied to you thinking that you get some magic energy boost from Suboxone, when it's more than likely you're just getting relief from your withdrawal, that could be a way to help you start breaking the cycle. You know what I mean? Because if you're like, I can't go without Suboxone because it gives me this magic energy, then your brain is going to want to keep that around, right? Same with euphoria. When you're going into withdrawal, what do you get? You get dysphoria. You know, you have no euphoria. You're depressed. You're slammed. You don't want to do anything. So A lot of people get what they call euphoria from Suboxone, when it could really just be that they're getting relief from their withdrawal, which causes dysphoria. Hopefully you guys can understand why I'm saying it that way. And I'm just thinking of ways that might help you guys think of some ways to try to start breaking the mental addiction to Suboxone. Because if you think you're getting all these benefits from it, it's going to be hard to let it go. So those are basically the main 5 things I wanted to touch on, you guys. If there's anything I missed, please let me know in the comments. Again, I want to re-say that I do believe that I personally needed to have Suboxone I wish I would have only done it for 6 to 12 months. And then I wish I would have known more about Sublocade. I mean, I'm just barely even hearing about Sublocade like the last maybe year or so. And it's always been basically, no, you can't have it because you're tapered down to lower doses. But thankfully, there are people out there like myself that are trying and trying to talk to their doctors. And there are a lot of other people out there doing what we're doing, guys. I just seen 2 guys in my comment section that they're like, thank you for like telling me all about this stuff. I'm going from 2 milligrams of Suboxone to the 100 milligram shot. And I think that's going to be an awesome transition dose. I think that's a great transition dose. If you're down to 1 or 2 milligrams, talk to your doctors, see if they'll give you just one 100 milligram shot. Or if you need more after that, that's okay too. But I really believe that Sublocade is the way to help get people off of Suboxone. I was thinking, like, if I just took Suboxone out of the equation, I don't know if it would have been that successful for me, to be honest, because to go from painkiller addiction right to Sublocade, I don't know if it would be too much, because I don't know, guys. It's hard to think about. It's really hard to think about that. I don't think I would have been as successful doing it that way. I believe Suboxone was needed to be in my equation of things, because it still gave me something to look forward to for the first while. I could still, it's like you're still in that same habit of putting something in your mouth to feel good for the day. And to go right from painkiller addiction to not doing that at all and just feeling normal all the time, I don't know, man. I could see me maybe getting in trouble with that. And that would be scary, to be taking Sublocade and then trying to take painkillers on top of that. I don't know how that would really go, guys. So I want to really caution you guys that might be taking painkillers and you're thinking about going right to Sublocade. You might want to, I know you have to get on Suboxone for at least a week before you get the Sublocade shot, but you might want to take Suboxone longer just to make sure that you want to be, I always say the people that aren't ready, that probably shouldn't get on Sublocade, are the people that aren't ready to give up control, because that's exactly what happens, is you're giving up control. You're having somebody put something in your stomach, and then that's it. You don't do anything else. You're on autopilot after that. You give up control, and some people aren't ready to give up control. So if I keep saying the same things, so this is another thing I'm going to say again, because it's very, very important, guys. If you're considering Sublocade, before I tried Sublocade, I thought that I was going to feel that feeling that I felt when Suboxone kicks in every day. I was like, oh, cool. It'll just keep doing that feeling all day long. That's not it at all, guys. So I want to be 100% clear. That feeling, that whatever you guys get, it's different for everybody. The feeling that you get once you put Suboxone under your tongue after an hour, hour and a half, that feeling that you get, you're not going to get that anymore once you go to Sublocade. You're just going to feel normal. You're not getting the highs, but you're not getting the lows. You're going to feel normal in a good way. Okay, I want to stress that because I don't want you to look at that as a negative thing, but I'm just trying to give you realistic expectations that you're not going to feel the Suboxone or the Sublocade kicking in all day like you probably think that you would, because that's how I thought. And I'm really glad that I don't feel it kicking in all day, because I would feel really like tired and out of it. So hopefully some of these opinions and ideas of mine you guys can relate to this. If you're considering Suboxone or Sublocade, I definitely think that they're both very useful and very good products for when you need them. But it's up to you, the user, to know when it's time to move on from these medications. So yes, your doctor needs to be a part of your decision, but at the end of the day, you're the one that's reliable for your decisions, and what you put under your tongue every day is up to you, not your doctor. Okay, guys? So that's pretty much all I had to say. I hope you guys aren't getting sick of me with all these videos. I hope I don't burn myself out. I am a little worried about that because I've been putting out so much content lately. You guys know how I am. I put out a bunch of stuff and then I go missing for a couple months. So I'm gonna try not to go missing this time. Leave me some comments. Let me know how you guys are doing. If you're considering getting on Sublocade, or if you're just gonna stay on Suboxone. Let me know if you guys thought any of my points were off. Do you disagree with any of this? It's okay to disagree with me. I don't mind you doing that. Just don't be talking crap. You can respectfully disagree. I'm totally okay with that on this channel. Just don't be mean to me. That's all I say, guys. So, okay, guys, have a great day. And don't forget, the Sublocade version of this video will be posted up a day after this video. Okay, guys, have a good night. See you soon. Go Hawks.